What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the total market capitalization, not of only the altcoins, but of all of the coins together. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about Xrp and why I think that this is probably not the bottom of this cycle, considering the fact that so many analysts want 6 cents per Xrp. And I kind of just don't think it's going to happen. So before we get started, make sure that you're a subscriber to my channel, as well as sharing this video with your friends and hitting up that like button. I really appreciate all of the support that I constantly receive from you guys, and I look forward to make these videos every single day. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So when I think about some of the most fascinating and useful pieces of information I've ever learned along my investing journey, one of the first things that I think about is market cycles. These are such powerful tools for knowing where to be getting into the market and where to be getting out of the market. It's also really useful to understand human emotion and how it repeats. It's not only useful from a charting perspective, but it actually applies to your own life, and you start to be able to understand your own inner emotions, not just from your investments, but also from maybe your business, your relationships, your life, your family life. All of these things are also affected by your own emotional state or your state of consciousness. So because of market cycle analysis, it's not only opened my eyes up to how to make money in the markets, but it's also opened up my eyes on how to make lasting relationships with the people that I love and I care about. So when it comes to Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin, the very first cycle in Bitcoin, where Bitcoin really went from being worth like a penny all the way up to $31 and then back down to $1.88. Now, if you can imagine how euphoric the market was right here and how completely scared and depressed the market would have been right here, this kind of goes to show what I'm thinking as far as the total market capitalization inside of the market. So if we actually just look at this cycle as well, we have a very similar fractal of human emotion. We have this very euphoric peak right here at the top of the market. Then we have this very depressive low, and then look what happens after that. You get this reaccumulation period. And that's really what I see all of this as, is reaccumulation before the market really starts its uptrend and starts moving up towards major resistance levels, only to go ahead and break those resistance levels, shooting up for another massive upswing in the market. So that's what I'm looking at with the total market capitalization. And so Xrp is not going to be left behind. Xrp will be following the total market capitalization. And so for me, the time that I'm investing is now in Xrp. I'm personally putting money into this project. I put my money where my mouth is, and this is one where I have investments inside of the market, and I'm preparing for another swing up. Now, what's really interesting about Xrp is a lot of the other coins have started their first breakout and then reaccumulation, whereas Xrp is still inside of this depressive phase in the market. It's still in maximum despair. And so what I really expect to have happen is that first breakout and then reaccumulation in the same way that Litecoin did, in the same way that a lot of the other top projects, like even Ethereum, has already done. They've made their first little parabolic run up, and they're getting reaccumulated currently. Litecoin being one of the ones that made a very parabolic run up in this area. And so what I'm watching for is for Xrp to make that parabolic run up in value. Currently, we're valued at 17 cents. I see a lot of analysts calling for 6 cents. And although this is a probability game, and so lots of different scenarios are technically possible, I bet my money on what's probable. And so what I see as being probable in this period of time is actually the opposite of what a lot of top analysts are expecting. And I expect us to break out here. And what I expect us to do is go ahead and make that higher high and begin making higher lows and developing an uptrend in the same way that the market capitalization is going to develop an uptrend and that Bitcoin did way back in 2012 when it was very first born and this cycle started. So this is really, really cool to see this happening. I really enjoy watching this trend development, watching these cycles play out, and you guys should too. It's very beneficial to have a constructive, positive view on the markets. Now, as you guys know, market cycles are pretty much one of the top things that I teach in investing, in trading these markets. But what's also very, very important to know, and I was just talking about this, is actually the Hawkins scale of consciousness. So shout out to Dr. David Hawkins for really making this groundwork, laying down the groundwork for understanding your own human emotions as a person. Now, I will say that this is not an exact science. This is all very groundbreaking new stuff. We're just barely starting to understand human consciousness as we've started to have the tools to properly dive into it, as lucid dreaming has become a bigger thing, as plant medicines has become a bigger thing, all of these different things to allow us to dive into our own consciousness and understand it. Now we've started to make these sciences and started to lay the groundwork for understanding our own human emotions to allow ourselves to really know thyself. And so really market cycles and this human emotion go along almost perfectly. You actually see the depression is red. It's in a state of pure depression or suffering or guilt or shame or apathy, meaning you're feeling no emotions, or guilt, meaning you're shameful or guilty of what you've done, and shame being the absolute lowest frequency emotion. And really, when you look at the market cycle, you can see the point of depression is red in the same way that the point of suffering is red on the Hawkins scale. What you want to do to properly trade these markets is get yourself into a state of reasoning, love, joy, peace, or enlightenment. And those higher states of consciousness will allow you to see what others can't see. Because if you're in a state of suffering, then you can't see the solution. So you don't want to be in a state of suffering right at the point of maximum financial opportunity. You want to be in a state of knowing. You want to be in a state of enlightenment or peace. And so to do that, you actually have to program yourself. You have to reprogram your operating system to do the opposite of what naturally feels right, because that's actually what's holding you back. And so one of the things that I personally do is I practice daily meditations, 20 minutes in the mornings, 20 minutes at night, lots of vocal oming. Vocal ohms will just open you right up vocally. They'll allow you to speak clearer, more concisely, more congruently. Your life will start reflecting your words, meaning that you're not telling people things that you're not actually doing. You're only speaking what you're actually doing. And so vocal ohms, meditation, these are all ways that I personally increase my state of consciousness. There's a variety of different ways to do this, and you can go research those ways for yourself and do what you personally feel is best based on what's legal and all of those different things. But just understand for yourself that a higher state of consciousness is what's going to allow you to see through what others cannot see. You know, Albert Einstein said that you can't solve a problem with the same state of mind that created it. I don't know if that's an exact quote, but it's something along those lines. And so in order to move past the markets, in order to know when to buy and when to sell, you can't be stuck in a state of suffering or getting by or fear or desire or anger or even pride. All of those things are going to make it very, very difficult for you to properly invest and trade inside of these markets and see what others can't see. Instead, you want to be moving into a state of acceptance, reasoning, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. And as you can raise yourself up the scale and get into these higher, more expanded states of consciousness, these are the ones that are actually going to carry you into profitability inside of the markets. And like I said, there's lots of different tools for doing this, but in my view, the most effective tools are going to be meditations, whether it's silent meditation, where you're just observing your thoughts, you're not fighting them, or whether it's dynamic meditation, where you're doing a headstand, or maybe you're running around the track, and you're just getting this runner's high. Whatever it is that you're doing, getting into these states of meditation, altered states of consciousness, as well as altered brainwaves are what really are going to allow you to see what others can't see and to move past the human emotion that you're naturally going to feel inside of these markets as the price is rising, as the price is falling. What you really want to set yourself up for is to be in a state of such a high state of consciousness that you're actually scared, not scared in the sense of disempowered, but you feel a sense of, oh wow, everybody is delusional at the top. So you don't want to be paralyzed with fear. That's not what I'm talking about here. I mean, you want to see the greed in others, which doesn't mean you have to personally feel scared. It just means that you need to see the greed in others. And that state right here at the point of new paradigm you're going to be able to do that if you're in a higher state of consciousness. And that's really the secret that, Wall Street investors don't want you to know. That's the secret that all of the people, the elites, don't want you to know. But I'm going to give it for you guys today. Often I've been called the Robin Hood of trading, or they used to call me Dallin Hood. So, those are a couple nicknames I've had in the past because I'm taking these secrets from the rich and I'm giving them to you guys. And I'm not just always going to give these things to you guys for free. That's not the truth here, because I know the truth is that if you guys actually invest in something like a VIP course, the rate that you're going to be able to learn these things will be greatly increased and you will be personally invested in learning it. But I do give away little breadcrumbs and little pieces of these things for you guys for free to give you guys a taste of what you really can learn inside of these markets to show you the way of profitability. So yes, I will be a Robin Hood to a degree, but also understand that I know the value of what happens when somebody invests in something. They're way more willing to actually learn what's going on inside of what they're being taught. So remember that if you really want to take your trading to the next level, invest in knowledge, or even anything, whether it's a course on running a business, whatever it is, invest in knowledge. That will really take you to the next level. So yeah, you guys, XRP is in a state of despair. I see a lot of people calling for lower lows. I personally think this is actually the beginning of the uptrend. And I personally expect the entire market capitalization as well to start trending up. And this is where I'm in a state of maximum peace and understanding and awareness. And I'm very excited about what's coming in the future because I see past what others can't see. I'm not in a state of disbelief. I'm not in a state of depression. I'm in a state of empowerment, even though the majority of the market isn't going to be that. So that's really the secret, you guys. That's one of the secrets to really become profitable in these markets. Remember that, live by it. The Hawkins scale of emotion and the market cycles of emotion. You can look both of these things up. It'll change your life forever. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video. I have a VIP program, like I was saying, invest in knowledge. I will give you guys little breadcrumbs along the way, but I truly understand the power of when somebody invests in knowledge. And I've seen so many people transform their lives completely with the stuff that I teach in the VIP, quit their day jobs, quit college, go travel, go become a film artist, musician, whatever it is. You can live your dreams. You really can. It starts with your financial situation, which starts with you changing your own inner feelings about how you feel inside of yourself. And then that will reflect in your outer world, in your bank account, in your life, in your relationships, and all of the above. So check out the VIP and just shoot me an email or a Discord message. I can get you inside of this exclusive group. That's the only way to get in, is direct message me or email me, because I really pick and choose who I want to be part of the group. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love and appreciate all of you. If you learned something from this video, share it with your friends, and I look forward to seeing you guys in future updates. As always, stay profitable out there.